Good morning guys. So, ayan, ngayon lang ulit ako magkakaroon ng update about my Bible journaling kasi recently na busy. And today, I was reading the book of Exodus, chapter 36 to 38. So, it's all about making the tabernacle na ini-instruct ni God si Moses, diba, to create the tabernacle. Noon kasi, nung binabasa ko siya, parang simpleng information, instructions lang. Ngayon, since inintroduce nga itong Bible journaling and yung techniques how to understand the Bible well and magkaroon talaga ng talagang mabusising Bible study, yon talagang totoo pala, marami palang mga revelations dito sa Old Testament na it's indeed true na ang Old Testament is a foreshadowing of the coming Messiah, which is si Lord Jesus Christ. So maraming revelations dito that is pertaining or parang nagpo-point lagi kay Jesus Christ. So share ko yung mga notes ko today na talagang hindi ko lang to ginagawa sa sarili ko yung pag-aaral. Nagse-search din ako para makatulong din sa aking kaalaman. So ito. So ayan, dito na ako. Nag-skip nga ako kasi naubusan ako ng tape and sticky notes. So nung nakabili ako ulit, ayan. So ayan po. Dito yan ito yung part na si God is alam naman natin that the Israelites are matitigas ang ulo. So, yung tabernacle na to ay talagang pinapagawa ni Lord for them to dun sila parang magkaroon sila ng opportunity to come to God through a mediator sa pamamagitan ng priests like si Aaron and si Moses. Si Aaron pala yun. Singit ko lang, napakahirap lumapit kay God kasi parang nung Old Testament days, ang higpit niya kasi nga 'di ba ang stiff-necked people ang mga Israelites, and God still loved them and showed compassion and grace and mercy. Pero dahil gusto niyang magpakita ng authority and He's a God of justice and He is a God na talagang kailangan nilang katakutan siya. So, meron talagang that time, merong barrier between God and man. Wala pa si Jesus eh. Kasi nga sobrang makasalanan sila na noon they are required to offer a sacrifice, animal offering, burnt offering na kailangan ng dugo ng animal to yun yung parang yun yung magki-cleansing sa kanila sa kasalanan nila. So napakahirap kasi kada kasalanan they have to give an offering. Yan yung animal sacrifice. Yan, mabalik tayo dito ako sa instruction of the tabernacle. Basta maraming instruction si Lord. Makikita dito na napaka-specific ni God, napaka-perfect. Kasi yung mga ganyan details like katulad po nito, sabi nga dito, ayan nilagyan ko, God is a God of order and perfection. He wants everything to be done according to what pleases Him, 'di ba? Like dito, yung inappoint niya, Bezalel and Oholiab, and every craftsman in whom the Lord has put skill. So talagang sininggle out sila ni Lord. Talagang pinili sila na sila yung gumawa. To know how to do the work of the sanctuary. In the construction of sanctuary in accordance with all the Lord that commanded. So dito, ito po, yan na nga. Yan, jump tayo dito. Kasi dito ako na curious. Dito ako talaga na curious kasi ayan inulit-ulit po ni Lord yung curtains. Ayan and all the craftsmen among the workmen made the tabernacle with 10 curtains. Ayan each curtain was 28 cubits and the breadth of each curtain for all the curtains were the same size. He coupled the curtains to one another and the other 5 curtains he coupled to another. He made loops blue on the edge. Basta puro curtain. Ayan pati dito frames. Ulit-ulit. Ayan. So, ano ba yun ang emphasize nito? Bakit inuulit-ulit? Kasi sinabi rin yan doon sa Bible study, yung journaling, yung technique na, sino ang nagsusulat? Bakit niya sinulat to? ano yung mga words or keywords na pansin mo, na nagpukaw ng pansin mo, na ulit-ulit binanggit, 'di ba? Yung mga redundant na, no, gaya nito, ulit-ulit to. So, nag-ano ko, na-realize ko, disearch ko. Kasi gusto kong magkaroon ng ng tinignan ko kung ano yung masasabi nilang context nito. So, ito nga, ano daw sinisimbolo ng curtain? Bakit pa ulit-ulit nang binabanggit sa Bible? Ayan po, Ayan, pati yung frames, 'di ba? So, ayan, 'di ba, maalala natin, yung curtain is the veil. So, yan yung naging parang hadlang or barrier noon sa pagitan ng Diyos at ng tao. So, yung veil, yun po yung naghihiwalay sa holy place at most holy place kung saan nananahan ang presensya ng Diyos. So, that before, wala tayong access kay God. Merong harang kasi nga dahil sa ating sins, we cannot come to the Lord. 'Di ba? We are separated talaga spiritually from God. Kasi ang tao na hindi basta-basta pwedeng lumapit sa Diyos dahil nga sa ating kasalanan, we have separation. Yun. Yan po, ang natutunan ko dyan is the symbolism and foreshadowing kay Jesus. Yan. Na si Jesus, nung dumating po siya, He was the one who torn the veil. Kasi 'di ba after niyang mamatay, nung sinabi niya it is finished, nung namatay siya sa cross, nagkaroon ng malakas na earthquake and then nahati yung veil doon sa temple. Yung veil po na yun, napakakapal nun. Makapal daw yun eh. Hindi daw basta-basta mahahati yun at parang tela na kayang punitin. Siguro, parang ganito siya, parang kutsyon siya, ganun. Ganun. Tas nahati, and si God ang pumunit nun, hindi ang tao. So, ito pa isa. Ito pa yung frames naman daw ng tabernacle, ulit-ulit din pong binanggit yan, Tapos, gawa sa acacia wood. So, detailed na naman si Lord sa mga niya. Meron pa dito na sabi, overlaid the frames with gold and made the rings of gold for holders for the bar and overlaid the bars with gold. Inulit-ulit to gold. He made the veil of blue. Dito ako na-shock talaga. He made the veil of blue and purple and scarlet yarns and fine twined linen with cherubim skillfully worked into it. He made it. And for it, he made 4 pillars of acacia and overlaid them with gold. He also made screen for the entrance of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet yarns. Makinig kayo mabuti dito. Grabe itong revelation na to. And fine twined linen embroidered with needlework and its 5 pillars with their hooks. He overlaid their capitals and their fillets were of gold, but their 5 bases were of bronze.